One of the biggest buzzes revolving around the NFL draft is the question whether Jalen Carter is mature enough, or will be able to perform at an elite enough level to play in the NFL. When there is no doubting his skill, or his college success and performance, these are real concerns, and they should be considered by any team that is potentially willing to take the risk on drafting Carter. Going into the offseason, Carter was at the very top of a lot of draft boards and considered to be arguably the best player entering the 2023 NFL draft. However, with all his legal troubles, and his inability to finish his drills at the Georgia Pro Day, the big question mark is just how he'll fall in the draft. We'll dive into the potential landing spots for the defensive tackle later in this video. Carter is 6'3", 314 pounds with 33.5-inch arms with a very impressive and almost perfect build for the 3-tech position. He's very explosive off the line of scrimmage and has an arsenal full of different impressive moves to bypass offensive guards and anyone in his way. His hands and hips work together smoothly, giving him an easy time getting around offensive linemen. When he has an opposing defender beat off the ball, his leverage and lateral quickness makes it almost impossible to adjust and defend. NFL guards tend to be much bigger than those at the collegiate level, and nowadays are expected to have at least decent speed. That being said, it may take a bit for him to adjust at the next level, but with the right coaching and training he has the potential to be an elite defensive lineman for a decade, or even longer in the NFL. Jalen's pass rushing ability at the 3-tech spot is something that you don't see that often. In his 3 seasons spent as a Georgia Bulldog, he racked up a total of 9 sacks and 13 quarterback hits. He had an amazing 57 quarterback hurries, with an outstanding 24 in each of his last 2 seasons. He lined up mostly in the 3-tech position, but even got a good chunk of snaps over the tackle and even a handful outside of the tackle as well. While he can consistently get in the backfield against the pass, he is an even more elite run stopper. He racked up 83 tackles and 18.5 tackles for loss at Georgia and did his job as a defensive tackle by filling up the run gaps and bouncing the runners outside to other defenders. It is hard for defensive tackles at times to fill the stat sheets just because their role mainly consists of being disruptive and redirecting plays, but Carter was able to do both at a pro level. While the stats and film don't lie, neither does the facts about surrounding his legal troubles and off-season disappointments. After the first 2 selections by Carolina and Houston, Carter can be taken immediately after at 3, and even fall as low as the early teens. It does seem hard to imagine him falling out of the top 10 though, just due to his pure talent alone. The Cardinals may look more towards an edge rusher in this year's draft, and the Colts are mostly predicted to take a quarterback. Seattle can be seen as somewhat of the start of a run of teams that can potentially take Carter. The Seahawks are known to be as a team that can handle a personality that may not be so locker room friendly, and have one of the best defensive-minded coaches in Pete Carroll. The Lions at 6 may not hold the scheme to fit him, but may be willing to make some adjustments just to add such an elite playmaker on the defensive line. The Raiders, although in desperate need of a defensive tackle, have ran into some trouble recently while taking personality risks on multiple recent first-round picks, and may want to take a safer route. Next, the Falcons at pick 8 still have a lengthy list of needs that they need to address, including the quarterback position, so the chances of them taking Carter may not be the greatest, but is still a definite possibility. Again, at pick 9 the Bears find themselves in a similar position as the Falcons, besides having an issue at quarterback. They have a lot of needs still, and besides the offensive tackle position, the defensive line is their biggest place in need of improvement. The Bears had the worst pass rushing defense in the league last season, just behind the Atlanta Falcons. Bears take the risk here, however, but it is still definitely a potential landing spot. Now with the Eagles at pick 10 probably hold the highest possibility to take Jalen Carter, especially if given the chance. They already have an amazing roster with minimal needs, defensive tackle being one of them, and still have another first-round pick, so they have room to take a risk. He could be a phenomenal replacement to recently departed Javon Hargreaves. In the end, there are also a handful of teams that can be seen trading up to take this risk, and there's a good chance that may happen. Would you take the risk and draft Jalen Carter? Do you think he will have a successful NFL career? Let me know in the comments section below. There is no denying the raw talent behind this prospect. We will see who ends up pulling the trigger on Jalen Carter. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe for more prospect overviews, stats, facts, news, and much more.